Hello, you are listening to Disney Travel Tales, episode number 43. This is a space where you can escape the real world and immerse yourself in someone's recent Disney trip. I'm Jenny, and today's show is all about Rundisney. I have recently gotten into Rundisney and thought maybe there were others out there like me who wasn't so sure about it, but still wanted to find out what it was. Tara from Preppy and Mouse Ears is my guest today, and she is letting us know what it's like to run a Rundisney race at Walt Disney World in Florida. She had so much useful information, and I hope you enjoy the show. This show is sponsored by Trolley Lane Travel, an Authorized Disney Travel Agency. Disney just released that their 2023 vacation packages will open June 8th for booking. If you're interested in booking a 2023 Disney vacation, then Trolley Lane Travel is the perfect agency to help with that. There are so many knowledgeable and wonderful agents, and we just want to help make sure that your vacation is perfect. I'm an agent with them, and I'm ready to get your dream vacation planned. See the show notes for a link to fill out a form for a free, no-obligation quote. All of my services as an agent at Trolley Lane Travel are complimentary to you, so there really is no reason not to use a travel agent. If you are on Instagram, you can find Disney Travel Tales there. This is a great way to connect and just stay up to date with what's going on with the show and to see pictures from our guests on their trips. Did you know that the best way to support a podcast is by leaving it a positive review? It's free, easy, and fast, and I promise you would be so surprised how happy it makes the creator. So if you're enjoying this show, please support me by leaving a positive review on Apple Podcast or Spotify. Okay, so let's get going. Imagine yourself running through Magic Kingdom before the park opens, and let's go. So today I am here once again with Tara. Tara came on a few months ago to talk about Flower and Garden Festival, and today she is going to talk with me about Rundisney, which I'm so excited to talk about. How are you?
I'm good. I'm so excited to talk about Rundisney. Rundisney is my newest Disney obsession, but it's a rapidly growing Disney obsession, and I just love it.
Yeah, this whole Rundisney world and community is huge. Like, for something I didn't even know about a year ago or like a couple years ago, and it's so huge. Like, I don't even think people realize how big it actually is.
No, they definitely don't. There's way more people at my first race than I expected. I've probably been aware of it since 2019. I really wanted to do Princess. I missed the signups. I missed 2020, and then obviously I got into 2021, but that was canceled. So, but it's a huge community, and the really great thing about the Rundisney community is everybody is really nice. Like, of all the sects of Disney, this is the nicest one. Like, you would think it would be intimidating, but everyone is so nice.
I know, because running in general can be very intimidating. I've always been like a wannabe runner. Like, I'm like, oh, I see people running and I'm like, that would be so cool. And then I try to go run and I'm like, I'm a terrible runner. So then I just quit. But I have committed to this summer's virtual series, which we'll talk about later. So I'm forcing myself to run.
Yeah, that definitely worked for me. I didn't like to run. I've never been a runner. Signed up for Princess this past year, 2022. I started training in November, and it's becoming something that I like. I even ran some non-Disney races, but the Disney ones are the best.
That's great. I mean, it's a healthy habit, so you can't go wrong there. Okay, so we're just going to kind of do a basic rundown of what Rundisney is, how you can get into it, how you can sign up for some races. So we're just going to kind of go through all that. So we'll just start off with, what is Rundisney?
Well, Rundisney is a series of races that take place at Disney World. They also have they have had them in the past at Disneyland Paris as well as Disneyland. I just saw something yesterday that Disneyland Paris is still not bringing theirs back. And as far as Disneyland, I have to say, I don't know what they do. I don't think they have any, but that's not definitive. But it's a series of races at Disney World, there are four different race weekends a year. They all have different themes. And within each race weekend, there's going to be different races. So you're always going to see a 5K. You're going to see probably a 10K. You might see a half marathon. You might see a full marathon. And then in the springtime surprise, you might see something different. This year they did a 10 miler instead of a half. So springtime surprise is kind of random. But you're running through Disney, you're running it through the parks in the Magic, and you're going to see characters. There's going to be shows. It's a race unlike any other race that I know of.
Yeah, it's really fun too if you can get on a social media platform that you like and follow people who do run Disney. It's so fun to see the pictures of the like characters that they have. They get to meet during the race. That's so cool.
Yeah, it's fun. And they have some rare characters. I ran the Princess 5K this past February, and obviously we had some princesses, but they had Pocahontas, who is harder to see. And then they also had Prince Charming and the mice from Cinderella, as well as Naveen from Princess and the Frog. And none of those are not characters that you're often able to meet at Disney World. So that was great. My rule for myself was I stopped for the rare characters, and then if they were princesses that I could see every day living in Orlando, I kind of went on by. Mm-hmm. But I mean, yeah, it's fun. There's so many characters.
So there are different races per each race that you can run, but you don't have to sign up for all of them. You can kind of pick and choose which ones you want to run, or you can go ahead and run all of them. And don't you get like a special medal if you run all of them?
Yeah, so every race, when the race weekend sales open up, you can choose whether you want to run one race, two races, or all of them. So if you run all of them in a particular weekend, you're actually going to sign up for the challenge. And it's different for each race. For Princess, it can be the Fairy Tale Challenge. It's a different title, but you're going to want to sign up for the challenge. And so if you do that, you'll get the challenge. And so that's a great way to sign up for all of them at once and then get an extra medal.
Yeah, and they're run consecutive days, right? So you're running all those races in a row?
Yes, so for Princess Weekend, we ran the 5K on a Friday, and then on the Saturday there would be a 10K, and on Sunday there would be the half marathon. So to do the challenge, you're doing all of those, and all of those races are going to come with a 3 a.m. wake-up call. Obviously they have to be done running by the time the parks open. So you've got to get there. So we got up at 3 a.m. You want to be on your bus at 3:30. Getting to your corral at the race can sometimes be a bit of a walk. I think we walked like a mile before we got in our corrals for both the races I did this year. And then just getting set up and waiting to get started. The races start at 5. Depending on when your corral is, you could be starting closer to 6. But it's definitely something you're going to have to be willing to get up early for.
Yeah, that's very early. Especially if you are coming from out of town, you need to account for the time change.
Yeah, that's true. I haven't thought about that. I mean, even for us, we're about 15 minutes. No, we'll see. With traffic, we'd be like 20 minutes away. And we stay on property just to get that extra 15 minutes of sleep and to use the bus transportation directly from the resorts.
True. I totally would say. And plus just being in the atmosphere, like it would be fun to be at the resort with all the people running. Because race weekends, they bring in a lot of people, right?
They do. It's always very crowded during race weekends. And the really great thing is, like, after the race, you go to the park. People go to the park to take photos. But most people wear their medals around. And so, you'll get congratulations. And it's like camaraderie. And I did something. And it's like to turn myself from not a runner into someone who wants to do not only one, but all of these. It has to be a good feeling. The best way I can describe how I felt during the 5K was just like on cloud 9, and I wanted to feel like that forever. So I immediately left Princess 5K and signed up for the springtime 10 miler, which was like 5 weeks later and the only race that was open. So, I mean, to go from a 5K to 10 miles is a big jump in a month and a week. And it was just so worth it because it's a great atmosphere.
Okay, so let's talk about how do you sign up for these races?
Hey, parents, do your kids listen to podcasts? Do they like solving mysteries and flexing their imaginations? Mysteries at Riddleton Elementary is a new children's mystery podcast. Your kid can join Billy Bonanza and Susie Sockington on exciting and wacky adventures as they attempt to solve mysteries around their school. Mysteries at Riddleton Elementary is available now on all podcast platforms.
So sign up. If you're interested in Run Disney, you're going to want to follow, obviously some bloggers who talk about Run Disney. But at the very least, you want to follow the Run Disney specific page because you're not going to get the announcements, themes of a race weekend. And then a little later, they're going to announce when they go on sale. So currently we know the themes for obviously Wine and Dine that's coming up in November. And we also know the theme for Marathon Weekend in January, which is a super cool retro theme. But the Princess theme for 2023 should be coming out anytime now. Like some run bloggers that I follow are like, we should know. So once they announce the theme, they're going to tell you when they go on sale. And at any time, you can go to the Run Disney website, click on the left-hand column, go over to, Walt Disney World, pick events, pick which weekend you're interested in, and there's going to be a little countdown that's going to tell you how long to that event and dates when things are going to go on sale. I imagine Princess historically goes on sale in June, so we should be hearing some information about that. You get on at 10 a.m., so that's when they open. And if you want to do the 5K, I recommend being very quick because the 5Ks sell out first. If you're looking for a longer race, like the half or the full, they don't sell out as quickly. I just did marathon sign up less than a month ago. I signed up for the 5K because the theme was just too cute, but also the half marathon. And I think that race was entirely sold out in, I want to say, less than 4 hours.
That's crazy.
So if you think it's something you want to do, like you need to know on the day of, in my experience, there's not going to be any waiting and signing up unless it's the half or the full. But even the half and the full have sold out for Marathon Weekend in January. And one thing to keep in mind with this year is that it's 50th anniversary at Disney World. So people are especially wanting to be there. And then with Princess coming up, not only is it an anniversary for Walt Disney World, it's a Run Disney Princess anniversary. So there's going to be some demand for that. So if you're thinking you want to do Princess, you need to be watching the Run Disney follow-ups, and you need to be on before 10 a.m. to get in.
Oh my gosh, that's so stressful. I do remember watching people sign up and there was like a glitch in the system and they had to delay the sign up, and oh my gosh, like that seemed very stressful.
A 2.5 hour glitch. So people were waiting at 10. I was in queue. I couldn't get in. I just kind of gave up and left. And honestly, I think that worked out better for me. I would check periodically. Around 12 o'clock, I checked, and they were like, we're going to launch at 12:30. I was like, okay, cool. Pulled out my phone in the parking lot of Michael's in town. 12:27, I got in queue. I was on. And I got in. I got both races I wanted. My friend, who had waited in queue since 10 a.m. because they had said, don't get out of line, she got in, but she was behind me. But I know some people who had waited in that queue, they missed it. So my advice would be, hopefully that doesn't happen again.
Yeah.
But if it does, stay in queue on one tab and then open a new one on another tab and see what's going to happen.
Yeah, that's smart.
Because anytime there's a huge demand for something, I mean, technology it may crash and you want to be prepared. Another great thing you can do is you can create a Run Disney account ahead of time. And by doing that, you can have some of your information saved. They do want an awful lot of information when you sign up for a race. You're going to have to put not only your personal information, like your name and your address, you're going to have to answer some questions as to whether or not you've ran a race, a 5K, 10K, whatever before. You're going to have to put your emergency contact in, your t-shirt size. It takes time. So by saving your name and your address, you're going to save a few seconds, and that might mean the difference between getting in the race and not getting in the race.
Yeah, that's really good advice. So because I don't live in Florida, nor can I travel for these races right now because I have kids, I sign up for the virtual races. And those are great options for people who can't actually be there but still want to run and get the medals. And I know for the one that's going to be in January, I feel like the virtual sign up was like 3 days later. So you don't have to deal with all that stress. And I also don't know if they actually sell out of that because they don't have to worry about the capacity.
Yeah, I think they can sell out, but I think in theory that's when it's very close to the start of the race and they don't have, they only ordered X amount of medals.
Mm-hmm.
Um, so yeah, I don't think they can sell out. I'm in a Run Disney Facebook group and they were just talking about today that there was still availability in the full and I believe the half for January. So,
That's
and,
good
I
to
mean, the
know.
virtual series are a great way to get a lot of people in who maybe can't afford the trip to Florida, and they're a lower cost than the Disney trip, or excuse me, than just regular Run Disney.
Mm-hmm.
Like a virtual 5K is cheaper than a regular 5K. And the really fun thing that they're doing this year is they're also doing the virtual summer series, which is a great way to stay involved in Run Disney because nobody is running outside in Florida in June.
Right.
We signed up for the virtual series this summer, and so I'm very excited about that. And once you get one Disney medal, you want them all. And I'm just like adding them to my wall. But it's also a really good way to keep me on track training for my race in November. And so the virtuals can be good for that as well. If you have a long period between one race and another, maybe you only do Princess, then that's a year apart. So you could do a virtual and then keep yourself motivated.
That's really good advice. Yeah, the medals this summer are frozen and they are so cute.
They look like little snow globes, and I know like some people didn't like that, but I thought that was the cutest thing ever. I signed up for the challenge this summer, which is just 3 different 5Ks. You submit the time,
Mm-hmm.
and then you get the challenge medal. And I'm actually splitting. We're kind of using that as a motivator to get my whole family active. So my husband, my daughter, and my mother-in-law and I, we're all going to do one 5K together, and then everyone gets a medal because I'm going to share mine, and then I'm going to run 3 5Ks to submit my time to Run Disney. But my daughter's actually really excited about that, and my mother-in-law is going to do it with us, which is great too. So like the medals are a really great motivator, and I really like that they have that option this summer.
Yeah, they're really cute, and I think it's really fun too. I signed up for the challenge as well, and the good thing with this summer series is there's no you can just do it anytime over the summer, so it's not 3 consecutive days. It can be weeks apart, it can be days apart, it can be a couple of months apart. You just have
you don't have to do it outside. I mean, you can do it on your treadmill. They don't care.
Yeah.
Like, you just do it whenever you want. So for me, I'll probably do at least one of them inside because it's going to be hot.
I know. Same here. It's going to be like 110 by 12 o'clock here, which is not fun. Okay, so how do you train for Run Disney? Do you use a program or what do you do?
So I don't use a program, although Run Disney offers a program. So once you're all signed up, you can go, and this is free. Once you're all signed up, you can go onto Run Disney, and it's going to tell you how many days away from your race you are. And then there's a week-by-week training program from Jeff Galloway, who is a former Olympic runner, and he's a part of the Run Disney team. And you can follow that. For me, starting from, I like to walk, but let's call it couch because I just did not run. For me, I just simply went outside or I got on the treadmill and I saw how far I could run. And then when my heart rate got above a certain number, for me that was 180, I would stop, wait for it to get back in the 130s, and then go again. And so literally it was just something as simple as that. And at first I couldn't run more than a couple minutes. And it's evolved to where now I think this is kind of my running rhythm is I ran the 10-miler. I ran 0.8 of a mile at a pretty good pace, and then I walked 0.2, and then I ran again. So that was kind of my run-walk method, and they're going to recommend that from Run Disney as well for your training, run-walk, and you can walk the whole thing if you need to, as long as you can keep ahead of the pacers, the balloon ladies. They'll let you finish. Just remember if you're walking to stay to the right because there are people who are trying to run, make times, personal records, whatever, they're going to be on the left. So definitely stay on the right if you are going to walk or if you need to take a walk break.
Yeah, that's good to know too. So if you do, you don't have to run the whole thing. It's not like you're signing up and you're like, I'm going to run the whole thing. You can run, walk, take your, go at your own personal pace.
Yes, and with the 5Ks, they don't even have balloon ladies. So you have plenty of time to finish the 5K. You can walk the whole thing, and it's fine. So if you're very new to running and you're very nervous, I recommend trying to get in the 5K. The other races are going to have pacers and balloon ladies, and so you can still walk, but you do have to maintain a pace of a 16-minute mile, which is 3.75 miles per hour. So if you can't maintain that pace, they don't want you not to finish. Everyone is super encouraging, but if you can't maintain that pace, they are going to pull you out. So
Okay.
they just have time frames and they have to open the parks. And if you're struggling, then that's okay.
Yeah, especially on the longer races, if someone is taking too long, then it could delay. Like you said, they have to open the parks because y'all are running through the parks. So
yeah, I mean, they're actually we started the race, both races I've done this year, we started in the Epcot parking lot. By the time you get back to the Epcot parking lot to finish, and there's a ton of stuff out, there's no evidence that people were ever there. I mean, they're essentially breaking it down behind the last runner as they go. I mean, it's just crazy the amount of people they have working these events. But for your safety and there's everyone's safety involved and the opening of the parks, for those longer races, you do have to maintain that pace.
yeah, that makes sense. Oh my gosh, that's just so interesting. It's funny because, you see pictures and you hear about it, but until you're actually there to see it, I didn't even think about because it is a huge setup when you see the pictures of the starting line and everyone's there. But yeah, all that stuff has to go away.
Yes, all those corrals are gone by the time you get back. There's a little pre-show with a stage that's gone by the time you get there. It's just crazy. I mean, they've totally redone the area. It's a finish line area where you can rejoin your team. You can eat the food they give you. There's photo ops, and then but once the time's up, you're out of that area too. They're gonna kick you out. So
wow, that's just
they're very efficient, but it's a lot of fun.
I know it sounds like so much fun. I look forward to being able to run one in person. I was actually thinking about trying to figure out when my oldest, he can run naturally, which is just, I don't know, drives me nuts. I'm like, how can you just go run? And you're fine, but it's being young. But I'm hoping that me and him could go do a in-person race because he would be the one to go with me that would actually run and enjoy it,
Yeah. Yeah, it's a lot more
so
fun when you have someone with you. So my husband had some health complications. I ran Princess by myself. We ran the 10-miler together, and I loved Princess, but the 10-miler was better because I was getting to share it with him.
Yeah.
And he kind of helped me around mile 9. I had an issue with my shoe, and he was very motivated with we got this, let's keep going. And yeah, he was great. I mean, 5 weeks of training, and we finished above half the pack. So I was very proud of myself for not being a runner. So having someone with you to motivate you is just going to help you reach those personal records.
That's awesome. I love that. What a great story. Yeah, I think if you're interested in Rundisney or just interested in running in general, it would probably be best to try to find some kind of running program. There's tons of running programs out there. There's just my Apple Watch has a running program on it where it'll talk to you through your earbuds. But one that I use, I actually use Beachbody. They have a running program on there that I really like. It has this really motivational lady, and she coaches you while you're running. So that's been really helpful for me because personally, when I run, I can get really negative in my head, you can't do this, you're too slow or whatever. But she's in my earbuds, telling me, you can do it. You're about to walk, run a little bit harder, and then you're going to take a walk break. So that's it's your own personal coach just right there. So I'll put a link to that program in the show notes if someone's interested in it. I really like it. It's been the one thing that's helped me start running and actually kind of enjoy running now. So let's see. We've talked about special things on the race courses. Besides characters, is there anything else that's actually on the race course while you're running?
Entertainment. So we ran the Tower of Terror 10-miler in April, which was themed toward the 30s. So they had some 30 style singers on the route, which was a lot of fun. They have people DJing. They have there's all kinds of stuff. And then on the route, depending on the race you run, if it's a 5K, they're going to have water stations. If it's a longer race, like the half marathon, you're going to have water stations as well as Powerade stations. And actually, they'll give you those little fuel, like energy gummy things. They did that on the 10 miler. And there's tons of first aid stations along the route as well. And like, I mean, you can't turn around hardly if you go off course without running into a Disney employee. So, I mean, Disney volunteers, employees, they're there to make sure you have what you need. You can get what you need. So, I mean, yeah, there's a lot on the course. I mean, it's different. I just ran another race here in Orlando, and it was nothing like that. Like, I didn't see anybody. There was no entertainment. I just ran.
Yeah, that doesn't surprise me. So are there any extra perks for running a Run Disney race? Is there like extra merch or anything?
So when you sign up for a Run Disney race, you're automatically going to get a shirt and a medal. That's included in your price. And so if you run it virtually, they mail it to you. If you run in person, you go to the Run Disney Expo, which will start the day before the races at the ESPN World of Sports, and you will pick up your bib for the race. Have to have that. And you will also pick up your shirt there, and then they give you your medal when you cross the finish. Disney is PhotoPass photographers. They have tons of photographers photographing you on the course, all the things that you're doing. And your bib number plays a big part in that. You have to wear it on the front to get those photos. If you wear it on the back, you won't get any. That's not included with the race. You're going to put, like, there's a number, it says on the back of your bib how to do that. You'll link that in My Disney Experience. If you're an annual pass holder, you'll get the photos. But if you're not, you will have to pay the download. But it is, at least you have the option of the photos. Maybe if you just want to purchase the one of you crossing the finish line, that is something that they do. And then they do give out some freebies if you go to the Run Disney Expo, like stickers and just little things. So that's a lot of fun. But those are all the freebies. But you do have an opportunity to purchase additional merch to commemorate the race that you did, whether you want a t-shirt or a jacket, a magnet, a Christmas ornament. I've seen ears. I mean, they've got everything.
That's fun. I've seen the pictures of the big expos and like their spirit jerseys sometimes. I don't know. It just seems fun to kind of get to go in there. It's like a secret shop for only certain people. Is there anything else you would just want to say about the Run Disney race, or any tips or tricks or anything?
Tricks for registration. Open a lot of tabs. And be prepared. Have your credit card, everything out. Honestly, registration is the hardest part. Once you get through that, just keep walking, keep running, and just try and do your best. I mean, you're there to have fun. You're not training for Olympics. So, your time doesn't matter. Just do your best and have fun. I mean, you're paying for the experience of Disney. You're paying to run through the parks. You're paying for the characters. So honestly, if you went through too fast, you wouldn't get what you were paying for. But my biggest advice is just to have fun.
That's awesome. Well, thanks for coming on the show, Tara. Why don't you tell everyone where we can find you online?
So you can find me. I've joined the 21st century. I am on TikTok. I am on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. You're going to find me as Preppy and Mouse Ears everywhere but Facebook. Facebook, I am Preppy and Disney. And I am there. I have all your Disney tips and tricks, anything you need, and I'm always happy to answer any questions. I was a Run Disney newbie myself last year, so you can pick it up quick, and the community is very nice at helping.
Well, thank you so much for coming on. I hope this episode's helpful to people. It was definitely helpful and insightful for me, so I enjoyed talking.
Thanks for having me.
Thank you so much for listening today. I hope this show has inspired you to check out Run Disney. I mentioned in the show that I was not a runner, but really wanted to try out a Run Disney virtual race, but I needed help with training. Thankfully, a friend of mine is a Beachbody coach, and she led me in the direction of a program Beachbody offers for running. It's a mix of running and strength training, and I absolutely love it. You can find Eve and her amazing support page on Instagram at Team Smiley 6. Send her a message to introduce yourself and tell her Disney Travel Tales sent you for a free gift. Eve is such a great, supportive coach, and she loves helping people reach their goals, but most importantly, have fun while you're doing it. I just know you will love her and her positive outlook on working out, healthy lifestyles, and just life in general. See the show notes for links to all of this information. Next week, I have a brand new guest, and he is going to tell us all about his very long Walt Disney World vacation he took with his family in May. I am so excited to talk to him and let him share his travel tale. Until next time, this is Jenny, and may all your Disney travel dreams become a reality.